It's Ronnie, and welcome to 12 Days of Christmas, hosted by Kathy Feigl. And it is also Woodgrain and Winter, hosted by MK and Janet. And that's one is going to be a bonus one on there. I am going to be scrapbooking this photo right here. It is of my brother and part of his family. Not near all at all. Um, I'm going to be using one of those clips that I cut out. It's the one with the heart. Um, I'm showing them all, but I'm not going to use them all. And I think I showed something else that I had cut out and was in there. I picked out these things from the collection rather than drag the whole collection over here because I have the last collection I used sitting all around me, and I am planning on using it for my next layout. This, like I said, this is a bonus one on the wood grain, and I decided to use the 49 and mark it with it. This sheet of wood grain is Echo Park um, Safari, Wild Safari, something Safari, and I've had it several years. I am going to run that counting down to Mary all the way across there. And I did save a bit of it because you never know when you might need it. And I have pulled out things I wanted to use for my layers, and I am going to cut them down. I used a 1/4 inch chopper for the corners on this one. And I'm just cutting the top a little wonky to go with the rest. I like that look anyway, rather than it all be the same. I did gut a little bit of that music paper. You can't tell it on here because I caught it after I was so far along with the layout and thought, oh man, I didn't do it. So I just stopped the video and went back and gutted it and then kept going. But I just gutted a little piece. I won't be able to use much anywhere, but it is a little piece in the center. But hey, I did remember to gut the green and the candy stripe. I I'm just lining that Mary up along one of the lines for the planks for the wood grain, and that way I could keep it straighter. And um, I'm just going to try to center all my papers and my photo right there. As you could tell, I did gut the inside of that one paper to start with by using a punch, but I'm going to cover that up. Now, if you have the 49 and market, I guess you'd call it regular kit, and not the ultra page, ultra something, ultimate, maybe it's ultimate, where you do 4 layouts, or the cluster kit, you might not recognize some of these pieces because I got them also with this collection, and I'm just mixing them all up. I tried to use this chipboard mailbox on a different layout. It didn't make it very far. This time I decided to make it like a mailbox with a post holding it. So I cut a strip of darker wood grain so it'd show up just a little bit better. But then I'm going to put all kinds of stuff on it. So what little shows up needed to be a darker color. I am only putting foam tape on 2 of the sides there because I knew the other sides would be on top of the other paper. And the tape I have is pretty thin. I wanted to use the candy cane. Uh, well, I think that is a laser cut on my pole, so I could dress it up a little bit. And I love, love, love this holly and poinsettia together, and all the laser cuts of it. It is just gorgeous. And I'm putting a little bit here and there on the layout. I'm getting lower on that poinsettia and holly, so I'll probably be die cutting some. But uh, it'll be another layout or two. I Let's see. Oh, I'm just trying to scatter my garland and holly around the page. Well, I don't know if it's garland actually because it all did not come together. I clipped that one part apart, and I did shape up the one leaf because it looked kind of funny, because it should have been under the other leaf. But I tucked it underneath that Mary, so it might not have been noticeable anyway. So one little click might have worked, but yeah, I dressed it up just a little bit by trimming it. I'm oh, I wanted to put that heart on the post office box thingy. However, the one looked just too big and the other one looked too small. So I put the snowflake underneath it. I am going to have more snowflakes because, yeah, I punched out quite a few. I've got that bow and uh, it, well, it's just from a die set that had a bunch of bows I got off Peachy Cheap once. Oh, and there I'm showing off my strong arm. I'm pointing out the large circle, which is for large punches, and the small circle, which is for smaller ones. And then right there is where I put the medium one. So if it don't work on the small, I just move it over to the medium area. I think you can move it wherever you need to, though. I pointed out the little lines I put there to show where to put my paper. And all you do is close it. And then I thought, well, I think I'll show that because it seems to hit the handle on the punch for the smaller punches. You don't really need it for the larger punches because they're farther into the hinge part. And I just push down, and you don't really have to push that hard. I just automatically took both hands thinking I'm going to need it, but I didn't. I It cuts out really good and it's a whole lot easier on your thumbs. And my thumbs have been bothering me. There I'm showing a smaller punch and it sits perfectly in there where the small punch is. And this is by McGill, and it's a leverage helper, but it's called Strong Arm, so you can probably find it by that. If you need help with your punches sometimes, like I do, I try to buy just the ones that are rectangular, and you can use both thumbs on it when you go to squeeze it, or even the palm of your hand. But some of these, they're kind of old fashioned, I guess, and they're a little bit harder to do. But I've had it for several years, so um, I'm pretty sure I've seen a newer version of it. But this one works great, so if you could run across a used one, even it does work great. I'm I'm working on a cluster. Those gifts I fussy cut out of the packaging, and I do have the gold one on foam tape, and I'm just trying to figure out what I want to add to it because I didn't just want the two gifts sitting there. So I am adding a snowflake, and then I had also put that clip to the left. You and the green part is using my die, and I did back the little heart with some red to give it a different color. I'm I did add some more holly too. I forgot about that. I oh I started to do that cluster up there on the right, and I thought, well, I'm not sure what I want to do. Technically, I think that's all I ended up putting was those first two things. Let me look. Oh, no, I do add a snowflake there. But it's going to set a minute, and then I'm going to go to the one on the left, then back to the right. You know how it goes. It takes you a minute to decide what you want where. That little round thing, it says good cheer, but it also, instead of having a hole for a little string or something, it has what looks like the top of a screw, like it's screwed in, which I think is super cute. And I have dies to do that, but do I think about pulling them out? No. I need to put them on my desk so I can just grab them and die cut when I am doing something else for a layout. And that way maybe I'll use them more often. But yeah, it's a fun difference. I I think I finally decide what I want to do there. I'm just adding a snowflake and that green heart, and so there is three things in my cluster because I do try to add three in a cluster. Sometimes two's all it ends up with, but I try to add at least three. I want that rub on there. My first plan was to put it down there at the bottom, but I didn't realize ending of the last letter was going to be so long. So I thought, well, maybe I'll put it up there on the viewfinder. And I thought, no, I'm going to have to go over a few layers. And then I told myself after going down to the bottom again that it will go over layers really good and to quit worrying about it. And it did. It looks really good on there. But I scattered some more of the snowflake around there. And I think that's it. That's all I'm doing to the layout. I think I'm adding one more on there and that's it. But I don't want to forget to mention that there are links down there below for the 12 days of Christmas. Everybody that's playing along, they may not be playing every day, but they're going to play the days that they can. And then also down there is the playlist that MK created. So everybody that is doing a layout for the Woodgrain and Winter can add their videos there. So all you have to do is click once and you've got a lot of videos to watch. But there's my post with my post office mailbox at the top. And isn't that the cutest little candy cane? I'm not sure what you call it. It's not a bouquet. Well, it may be. It may be. Yeah. And there is my doily, and I believe that was from last year or 4 years ago. It's been a while. One or the other was in that collection because I did pull out some stuff that was older. And there is my countdown to Mary. I think that's what it says. Let me look. Oh, it is not countdown to Christmas, Mary. I left a word out, the most important word. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you if you like the video and hit a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. And for all of you that already are, thank you so very, very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. I appreciate that too. But have fun on the hops. Bye.